this video we're working on a Vaillant EcoTec, and the reason we've been called to this job is the customer is saying that when they run hot water, the radiator is also getting hot. So there's two possible reasons for this. One is the diverter, and second is the plate being blocked. So first thing I done when I got there was I just opened the hot tap and I see if the boiler was cutting in and cutting out while I was running the hot water. If that was happening, then it shows that the plate is blocked, and if the plate is blocked, sometimes what happens is the central heating water can't flow through the plate, so it forces itself through the diverter and down into the radiators. So by testing that the plate wasn't blocked, then I knew that the fault was most likely the diverter valve. So as you can see, I have a diverter valve with me. So in this video I'm going to be isolating, draining down the boiler and changing over the diverter valve. So the first thing I do is just isolate the flow and return. And then now I'm just isolating the cold mains in to the boiler. So depending on the version of the Vaillant EcoTec that you have, some of the older version which has a nut right where my finger is, and some of the newer version which doesn't have a nut. So this one I can see does have a nut, so it's a little bit easier. So now I'm just grabbing for my drain hose and I'm just going to drain down the boiler into my wetback. So at this point I'm just draining the boiler down, and I would usually, like I always say, charge the vessel, but this is a boiler that I've recently worked on and I've done a repair on, so I know that the vessel is charged, so I don't bother charging the vessel in this video. So yeah, so now I'm just waiting for the boiler to drain down. Then once it's drained down, I'm going to start taking off the electrical components like so. Now at this point, while I'm still waiting, I thought I'd just try to be productive and try start cracking the nuts open. So I'm just applying pressure and giving it a quick push and jerk to try to release the screws. So I've done one, this is the second one I'm about to do. and then we're going to go and do the third one at the bottom. So now they're all cracked. Literally what I'm waiting for now is just the boiler to drain down. At this point the boiler's finally drained down, so next I'm going to take out the clip that holds the diverter to the pump and take the diverter out. So at this point I actually start removing the diverter, but I know that even though I've drained down the diverter, there's still going to be water inside the system. So I have my wet vac ready, and I'm just going to crack open the snot and have my hoover ready just in case there is any water. We still have quite a bit of water coming out, so just waiting for that to finish, and then once that's finished, then I can put my wet back away and I can start stripping it out. So now that nuts are done, I'm just going to pop out this little clip, and then that should allow this copper pipe to come out. So now I'm just trying to take out this clip that holds the diverter to the pump, And as per usual, I try to be strong and take it out of my hand, but quickly realized that it's not going to work. So I just grab my grips and I start wiggling out with my grips. So at this point I realize it's quite dark and you may not be able to see, so I just get my phone and try positioning the boiler so you can try to get a better view of what I'm doing. So now the clip that holds the diverter to the pump body is out and the 3 screws should be out. So now I just got the joys of trying to wiggle out this diverter from the pump. Sometimes it can be quite stuck in, so I'm just going through the motions of trying to wiggle it out to get it out. So after quite a bit of wiggling and twisting and turning, it finally starts giving up, and at this point it drops out and a little bit of water comes out. So I'll just grab my wet rack and suck up any water that comes. So now I'm just rubbing my finger on the inside of the pump body, just making sure there's no crack or debris. And then I'm just using my finger to try ping off the little seals where the diverter goes so I can replace them and put new ones. Again, just wiping down the surface and making sure it's nice and flat and clean for the new seals to make a good connection. So at this point I'm just getting rid of the old seals and getting the new seals and trying to reuse the last tiny bit of my grease. And then I'm going to use the grease and a little bit of pressure to push it against the surface of the seating and get them to stick before I put the diverter in. So they can be a little bit fiddly, especially if you've got grease on your finger, because it's sticking to the seating, but then it's also sticking to your finger. So you have to play around with it a little, and it can take a little bit of time. But once you've got them on, then they usually do stick quite nice while you put the diverter in. After wiggling and fighting with this diverter, was a little bit tricky. This one, for some reason, we managed to get it lined up. So now I'm just going to get my 3 screws, put the 3 screws in, put the clamp that holds the diverter to the pump, and then that's it. Now on this version of the Vaillant, the plate is absolutely massive, so I can't really use my hands to put the screw in place. So I'm trying to balance the screw and gently guide it into its place without dropping it off my screwdriver. So as I'm putting in the new seal, I quickly realized that the old seal is still stuck on to the thread. So I'll just get my screwdriver, pop it off, and then replace it with the new seal, and then start screwing up the nut. The last thing I do is just put in the electrical connection, put in the clip, and that is it for this repair.